So hello everyone, or shalom. Still trying to get used to saying shalom all the time. Today is Saturday, August 15th. The time is 2:40 p.m. So today is the Sabbath. It says we are to work 6 days and rest on the seventh. Saturday is the Sabbath for those of you that actually honor the Sabbath. Um, I'll let a few of you come in before I continue. If you don't mind, just so I know who all is here, can you just give me an hello? And also make sure you thumbs up the video, share it if you would like to share it, because the information that I'm going to give can probably save a lot of people's souls. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know, but a lot of people don't seek. So they don't seek. On Saturdays, my husband and I, and if we're home, my son and whoever else is at our house, we honor the Sabbath. So we honor the Sabbath starting Friday night, which is considered a day, and it goes into Saturday sundown. So Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. So we stay in the word. We follow, the commandments. We follow the Most High's teaching. So hey, Sharonda, how you doing? How you been? So that's how we live our life. That's how we live our lives. We live to get to heaven because we are here temporarily. And where your soul ends up is what you guys need to be most concerned about right about now. A lot of people, I'm not even gonna say a lot of people. I'll speak on how I used to feel. Before I was in the word the way that I am now, I was just like, listen, whatever, I got time. I have time. I'll do that when I get older. God knows my heart. I would say all of that. But it's more than just saying he knows my heart. It's more than just going to church on Sundays. There's a lot of, there's a lot of laws and rules that the Most High set for us that we must abide by. When I say the Most High, if you're new to my channel, some of you say Lord, some of you say God. Okay? But when I'm speaking on the Most High, I'm speaking on the Creator in heaven, not anywhere else. The Creator in heaven, our Father in heaven. So you're going to hear me reference the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. Okay? So it's 10 of us here. I guess I can get started. What I will be reading out of, guys, is the Sefer. I just ordered one of these for myself and for my husband. This is the complete Bible with all of the books in it. Even the books that they took out because they just didn't want us to know. The devil's busy. So he took out a lot of the things in the Bible that can get you, that can get you to your Father when it's time for you to transition into, whether you're going to go to hell or heaven. So I'm just going to keep it real. You guys know when I speak on my channel, I speak for everyone. I can speak really intelligent, or I can get really Ebonic with it, or I can get real ghetto. So I'm going to keep it in the middle. I'm going to keep it in the middle. If you have no idea who I am Adwoa Daniels Phillips. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I'm also a filmmaker. I'm a mother. I'm a wife, and so on. Okay? And so on and so on and so on. I own the Miracle Growth Water brand and so on. But mainly, I am a child of the Most High. I do know where I came from. I hope you guys know where you come from. Typical church teaching. Hi, Sister Angela. Typical church teaching. I'm doing excellent. Thank you. How are you doing? Typical church teaching. When you go to church, your pastor, your bishop, whatever you want to call the person that your teacher, your spiritual teacher, is supposed to, should be teaching you what's going to get your soul to heaven, because we all have a soul. So once we die, the body's just a body. The body is a shell that the soul basically sits in. That's it. And once you lose your soul, lose your breath, your soul goes. Spirit, soul goes. Everything's gone. It's just now it's nothing. It's nothing at all. So before I actually get into this, I'm just going to say a quick prayer. I don't normally anymore pray on here. I pray in private, but I'm just going to say a really quick prayer. So if you want to follow along, you can bow your head. You can just watch me, or you can just listen. All right. Okay, here we go. Our Father in heaven, as I read out of the Sefer today, please give me knowledge, give me guidance. Give me the words and the wisdom and the understanding that you want me to have as I am sharing your words on my YouTube channel this afternoon. I thank you for everything. I thank you for the people that you will allow to listen to your words. I thank you for the understanding that I know that you are going to give me, dear Father. That's it. In the name, okay. That is it. In the name of the Father and the Son, I thank you, Father, for your understanding. I thank you for your blessings, and amen. Okay. So I was about to say, the names, but I remember what we talked about the other day, so it kind of stopped me. You heard me, babe? He's not gonna listen. I think he has his headphones on. Okay. So one thing that I will tell you guys, in the Bible, if it says J-E-S-U-S, I will not be saying that. I will be pronouncing his real name. Okay? Or you may hear me say the Son or the Messiah. If I say the Son of the Messiah, then a lot of you say J-U-S-U-S. I don't say that anymore. If it says G-O-D, I will say our Father or the Creator in heaven. So I don't want anyone to get misconstrued. You can follow along. If you have a sefer, follow along with me in your sefer. If you don't, then follow along with me in your Hallelujah scriptures, in your King James versions, and so on. What do I put in one? Okay, so with that being said, as I was saying, I had to get the prayer out the way. With that being said, I was saying that with going to church, they are not, and I can speak from just my experience, my personal experiences, and other people that I've spoken with. They are not teaching us what we need to know to get to heaven. Because if you're calling yourself a teacher, a pastor, a minister, so on, then you should have studied out of every book, and you should have sought the books that were not in the traditional Bible. You should have been seeking, because if you're calling yourself a teacher and you're asking people for their tithes and understanding and come on in here, come on in the church, on Wednesdays for Bible study and Sundays, then basically you should know enough that when someone asks you a question, you shouldn't tell them, oh, well, you know what? I can't tell you that. So why don't you just go and, pray on it? No, if I'm coming in here and I'm looking up to you, and not even up to you, if I'm looking at you as someone that can help me with salvation, then you should have these answers. But think about a lot of times that you may have asked your pastor something and he didn't answer you. Or he said, well, you know what? Why don't you just go home and just pray on it? No, I came here. I'm asking you. You're supposed to be this. You went to school for this, didn't you? But many are called, and what they say, many are called and chosen. Babe, chosen a few. How's that saying go? Many are called and chosen. Many are chosen, but called. Many are called, but something a few. How's that go? Yeah, many are called, but few are chosen. So I say that to say, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if this came up in our studying with, my husband and maybe some other family members, but the subject came up that you can now get your, you can become a minister online. Same way you guys see me talking to you right now on YouTube. Thank you, Kat. Many are called and few are chosen. Thank you, Kat. I knew it was something like that because it just came to me, but I couldn't get it all out. So another thing too, never be too proud to ask a question. If you don't understand or you get stumped, because before I'd rather say something that doesn't make sense or that isn't correct, I would rather ask someone that I know knows or may know. But does that not scare you to know that there's a possibility that a church that you may be attending, that pastor went online and got his degree to be a pastor. Yeah. So that goes back to the many are called, but few are chosen. Because remember back in the days, if you were an apostle or you were someone that's supposed to lead, then the Most High chose you. But now I think people are just taking it upon themselves to say, you know what, I'm gonna be a minister. I'm gonna be a pastor. And I'm not gonna say all of them, but a lot of the people that's supposed to be these teachers, they're doing it for monetary gain, financial gain. So if you're gonna be a teacher, because we all have to, we're all gonna be judged one day. We're all going to be judged in our individual selves. Your mother can't be judged for you. Your father can't be judged for you. Your sister, your brother, your husband, your wife. You're going to be judged for what you've done in this life right now. Did you follow the commandments? Did you eat the things that it says in the Bible that we are to eat or not to eat? Did you follow the Sabbath? Did you honor the Sabbath? He left commandments for us, but people don't follow the commandments. And you can't follow one commandment and not the others and think that you are not committing sin. I think that's what's wrong today. People feel like, oh, this is a small sin. Or, I still want to eat crabs. So, it says in the Bible, you're not supposed to eat, we're only supposed to eat, fish with fins, but I love lobsters. Well, lobsters don't have fins. I'm here to tell you that. Lobsters don't have fins. Crab legs and all that do not have fins. Shrimp have, but that's how I say it, don't have fins. So in the Bible, it does say that. Now, one thing I will tell you, I'm not a big Bible verse quoter. So you're going to hear me say things just from what I've learned and what I've read, but I can't say, okay, well, I can prove this because go to Acts such and such or go to here such and such. Those are things that you need to research for yourself. Because anybody, I've watched a couple of channels and I've spoken to people, they can quote Bible scriptures all day long, but then they're still sinning. They quoting Bible scriptures and then they like, well, you know what? Time for me to go to the club. You understand? Anyone can memorize something. Anyone can memorize something and spat it. But it's how you live your life. If you're not living your life the way that the Most High wants you to live your life, then basically, what are you doing? You're living for the devil. Because if you're not living for him, you're living for the devil. And hello to everyone that came on. We are not perfect. At least I know I'm not perfect. If I was perfect, I'd be the Most High. I'm not perfect. I've come a long way in my journey, in my study, in just my growth as a person, as a child of the Most High. I've come a long way. Now, when I was real worldly, it didn't matter. I didn't care what I said. I didn't care what I did. It was whatever. You don't like a nigga, whatever. I don't care. That's just how I was. So don't think that wherever you are today or wherever you were yesterday, that you can't turn your life around and get it together now, because we are not promised tomorrow. We're not promised the next second. We don't know when the Most High is going to come back. We do not know. And when he comes back, trust me, you want to be that child that knows that you are living correctly, so that if when he comes back, you have no doubt in your mind of where you're going to go. So I know we are going to study out of the book of Ezra, but there's a reason why I'm saying everything that I'm saying now. All right. So you get better wisdom and understanding. And so that as I'm reading it, I myself can get better wisdom and understanding as well, which is why that's what I ask for. You have to ask for wisdom, understanding, guard my eyes, guard my tongue, guard my ears, put a covering over the bad things that you may hear or see, and guard your tongue so that you don't speak, negative things against people or things that may cause you to lose your soul. That your soul gets damned to hell. All right? So I will go ahead and get started. This is something that my husband was reading today, and I said, oh, wow. Oh, wow. I need to do a Bible study because I haven't done one in a while, and you guys always ask for it. And I said, I definitely need to go over this because what he read today is something that my first time hearing, you know. So I am reading from, and I wrote everything down. Okay. The fourth Ezra? Yeah. So I'm reading from the fourth Ezra, or Esdras, Esdras. Go down if you have it, or maybe you can pull it up. Go down to verse 78. So Ezra 4, verse 78. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to start. Hold on. I'm actually going to start at the fourth Ezra 70. And guys, once I actually update the update an app that I'm looking into for my computer, hopefully moving forward, when I do these things, I'll be able to have it on the screen. So you may see me in a corner and I'll be able to have it on the screen. So I'm not making up any words. I'm not adding. I'm not taking away. But you guys are not going to be able to see what I'm reading. And again, I'm reading out of the Sefer. All right. So we are on Ezra, 4th Ezra, 70. Let me get some water. You may see me clear my throat a couple of times. You will hear me clear my throat because, you know, your mouth gets dry as you talk. But before I get started, does anyone have any questions just right before I get started? I'll give you guys a second. And can you hear me pretty clear? I think you can see me, but I hope you can hear me too. Any questions? If I don't see any, that tells me to go ahead and get started. And one thing I will say, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a minister, I'm not any an apostle, I'm not any of those things. I'm just a child of the Most High, happy to spread his news. You know, that's it, and to share it with my sisters and my brothers. Okay, so Ezra 70. So if you go back, if you actually go back, hold on. Or you have no idea who Ezra is, then I would suggest that you go back to the first, to, you know, that way you get an understanding of who exactly he is. So in today's sense of being, I would say that Ezra was someone that he had a lot of questions. He had a lot of questions for the Most High. He had a lot of questions for the Most High. So he asked him a lot of questions, you know, which is just think about yourself. Put yourself in his shoes for a second. Say the Most High, our Father in heaven, was sitting next to you. I mean, he's always with us. But let's say you could physically see him, right? And you haven't been to heaven, you haven't been to hell, you know, you're confused about, okay, is there a hell? Is there a heaven? What's going to happen? I kind of want to know what's going to happen when I die. Am I going to die? Am I going to do this and that? So think about he's sitting right next to you or even in front of you or standing above you or just however you want to imagine it. And you were able to ask him questions. What would those questions be? Have you even thought about it? Like, wow. What would I say? Or if you lived in the times when you could actually walk with the sun, you know, what would your questions have been? Just keep that in mind. All right. So remember, I'm in 70. And the reason why I said I wanted to go start from 70 and just not from the whole beginning is because when my husband was in here studying and he was reading, I was like, wow, like I need to, that's something that I need to touch upon there, what you're studying now. All right. So it says, he answered me and said, when babe, what's El Elyon? Because I don't have the dictionary. What's El Elyon?
A version of GOD.
Oh, okay. 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 So I could just say the Most High there.
You just say Elyon.
Elyon? Oh yeah, because this is the verb. Okay, Elyon. So Elyon, El Elyon, E-L-Y-O-N is considered the Most High or G-O-D. Okay. When El Elyon made the world and Adam and all who had come from it, he first prepared the judgment and the things that pertain to the judgment. And this is 71 now. And now understand from your own words, for you have said that the mind grows with us. For this reason, therefore, those who dwell on earth shall be tormented, because though they had understanding, they committed iniquity. And though they received the commandments, they did not guard them. Let me go back. For this reason, therefore, those who dwell on earth shall be tormented, because though they had understanding, they committed iniquity. And though they received the commandments, they did not guard them. And though they obtained the Torah, they dealt unfaithfully with what they received. We're going to stop there. So I would always hear my husband say the Torah, the Torah, the Torah, the Torah. But not one time did I ever ask him, what's the Torah? And I read the Bible every day. Never asked him, what's the Torah, what's the Torah? See, these are things that you see it in one Bible, you're not going to see it in another. So he told me the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. So then it goes to say, basically, you know the commandments, but you're not following them, or all of them, or none of them, for that matter. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that. You know what I mean? So you know them, but are you applying them to your life? You can know something all day long. I can know that I don't like milk like that much. I know that milk goes on cereal. But am I eating cereal every day? Or am I putting the milk on the cereal? Or I know that we're not supposed to go outside naked. I know that I'm a woman that has breasts and that we need to wear a bra or some type of covering so that we're not tacky. You get what I'm saying? So these are things that I know. Am I going to wear a bra? Am I not going to wear a bra? So that's just me breaking it down. All right. Y'all get the point. So, okay, let me go back here. And though they obtained the Torah, they dealt unfaithfully with what they received. So now I'm on Ezra 4th, Ezra 73. What then will they have to say in the judgment, or how would they answer in the last times? What then will they have to say in the judgment, or how would they answer in the last times? So you know the commandments. You didn't follow the commandments for whatever reason because you felt like you had tomorrow, or listen, I can do what I want to do. God knows my heart. I'm going to live the way I want to live. I can love whoever I want to love. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I want to go out to the club. I'm going to drink in the club. I'm just going to get drunk. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, not what the Most High wants me to do. So, all right. So you've done everything of what you want to do. So now it's judgment time. What are you going to say now? It's the day of judgment now. But you all your life, you like, listen, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I got time later. I'm too young. I want to live my life. I want to party. I want to X, Y, I want to do this. I want to whatever. I want to fornicate. I want to cheat on my husband or cheat on my wife, or I'm never going to get married. I'm going to sleep with everybody. So what now? Now it's time for you to be judged. What are you going to get judged on? Yeah. Okay. So what then will they have to say in the judgment, or how will they answer in the last time? for how long the time is that Elyon, babe, Elyon, that El Elyon has been patient. Remember, El Elyon in here would be God. For how long the time is that El Elyon has been patient with those who inhabit the world, and not for their sake, but because of the times which he has foreordained. I'll read that again. For how long the time is that El Elyon has been patient with those who inhabit the world, and not for their sake, but because of the times which he has foreordained. I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O Yahuwah. For those of you that know the Most High's real name and his son, so Yahuwah is considered what you guys say God. O Yahuwah, and it says it in here, right there. Let me stop right there for a second. So when you pray for wisdom and understanding, I'll just say this and then I'm going to continue. We have to keep in mind that the devil does not want you to have answers. The devil does not want you to know what you need to know to go to heaven, because he knows he got kicked out of heaven, tossed out of heaven. He can never go there. He's destined to go to hell. Like, that's just where he's going. He cannot say, oh, I'm sorry, please forgive me, all the stuff that I've done, Father, please. He's going to hell. So he wants to take as many souls with him to hell, because he knows he can't ever get to heaven again, ever. So when you're talking about Bibles and teachings and scribes being tampered with, this is why. So yes, when you see something or hear something that may be unfamiliar to you, it's going to sound like, oh, that's a lie, or that's not what that's not what I was taught, or that's not what my pastor says, or he doesn't say this name and that name. Because trust, before I started saying the Most High and his son's real names, and I started studying more, my husband had always studied, and I was like, you sound crazy. I've been saying G-O-D and J-E-S-U-S all my life, so that's when I'm going to die saying that. But yeah, once I started studying and I asked the Most High, show me, if I'm supposed to be saying this, then show me. If I'm supposed to be saying that, show me. So I say all of that to say, it's easier for us to become accustomed to what the world and the world traditions have taught us. But it's harder to get out of those, to break away from that. But we have to. Our souls depend on it. All right. So there's that. All right. So I'm in 73. Back in 73. Well, no. I'm at 75. Okay. Ezra 4, fourth Ezra. So I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O Yahuwah, show this also to your servant, whether after death, as soon as every one of us yields up his soul, we shall be kept in rest until those times come when you will renew the creation, or whether we shall be tormented at once. So what he's asking the Most High, he's saying, okay, so when we die, if we were good, are we just going to be, are we going to be resting? Are we going to be resting? If we were good, are we just going to rest, until the day of judgment? This is how I'm interpreting it. Until the day of judgment, or the people that were bad, where they just go straight into torment. Like, I would say, like, are you just going to relax and be in paradise? Because when I think of heaven and hell, and when I think, me personally, from what I've studied and to my understanding, when you die, and this is before this, so I'm just gonna tell you what I felt like before my husband read this today, because we just got this book the other day. First, I thought when you pass away that you either go to heaven or hell. You're either up there with the Most High in heaven, or you're down in hell with the devil. As I've studied, I know that nobody is in hell right now, and nobody's in heaven. At least not the people that's dying now. People are in heaven that he brought up, that's been there. But you go to a place of rest. You're either going to go to paradise or torment. But you're not in heaven yet. You're not in hell yet. But you're either going to be paradise or torment. Study. So that's what I felt like. I was just like, okay, well, heaven and hell. And then once I started studying more, I said, oh, okay, so you're either going to be in paradise where you're relaxing. You don't know any, you don't remember anything. You're free. Or you're going to go to torment, where everything bad that happened to you, you're going to keep on replaying it over and over and over again. You're going to realize that you are in torment. So with reading this gives a better understanding. So it takes it back to the title that I titled this video. What happens when you die? Will you go to hell or will you go to heaven? I'm quite sure you've asked your parents that. I'm quite sure you've asked your pastor. You probably even prayed, what's going to happen to me? Or you're even afraid, like, what's going to happen when I die? Okay, so I'll go back to 75 and I'll just keep reading. I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O Yahuwah, show this also to your servant. Whether after death, as soon as every one of us yields up his soul, we shall be kept in rest until those times come when you will renew their creation, or whether we shall be tormented at once. He answered me and said, I will show you that also, but do not be associated with those who have shown scorn, nor number yourself among those who are tormented. For you have a treasure of works laid up with El Elyon, and it will not be shown to you until the last times. Now I'm still in Ezra 4, 78. Now, this is Mosai speaking. Now, concerning death, Elion, but it will not be shown until that time. Okay. Now, concerning death. Now, this is 78. This is where I told you guys that I was going to start at initially. Ezra 4, or Ezra's, E-S-D-R-A-S or E-Z-R-A. 78. Ezra 4, 78. Now, concerning death. The teaching is, when a decisive decree has gone forth, this is Ezra, I think it's Ezra speaking. Now concerning death, the teaching is, when the decisive decree has gone forth from El Elyon that a man shall die, as the Ruach leaves the body, that's the spirit. Ruach is the spirit. As the Ruach leaves the body to return again to who gave it, the Most High, first of all, it adores the glory of El Elyon. And if it is one of those who have shown scorn and have not guarded the way of El Elyon, and who have despised his Torah, and who have hated those who fear Elohim, it's the Most High, such Ruach, R-U-A-C-H. Okay, so the next word is, is R-U-A. You guys can write this down to get the meaning. R-U-A-C-H-O-T-H. And this,
Ruach.
what is it, babe? Ruach Oath?
It's the Ruach, but it's spirits. More than one.
Okay, so that's what that means. So it's the Ruach, but it's more. So that's considered spirits? Yeah, and guys, I'm out of town, so forgive me if I seem ill-prepared, but with this Sefer, it does have a dictionary. So if I had that right beside me, I could just say, okay, boom, let me look here. This means this. So we don't have that out of town with us. And I have this also on my phone, but I don't want to keep, All right. My husband's right in there. He's like my dictionary right now. So such, how do you pronounce it again? Ruachos? Ruachos? Os?
Yeah, Os.
Os?
Yeah.
Ruach Os?
Ruachos.
He sounds like he's speaking, like he is speaking Hebrew. Such ruach.
Ruach.
What if I say such? I can't say such spirits.
You can.
All right. Such spirits shall not enter into habitations, but shall immediately wander about in torment, ever grieving and sad in 7 ways. I know I stopped, so I'm going to repeat that. And okay, now concerning death, the teaching is when the decisive decree has gone forth from, I'll say the Most High, gone forth from the Most High, that a man shall die, as the Ruach leaves the body to return again to him who gave it. First of all, it adores the glory of El Elyon, the Most High. And if it is one of those who have shown scorn and have not guarded the way of El Elyon, and who have despised his Torah, and who have hated those who fear Elohim, such spirits or ruachs with an S shall not enter into habitations, but shall immediately wander about in torments, ever grieving and sad in 7 ways. The first way. So basically, there's what he's saying, and this was so powerful that, okay, you're dead. You died. Boom. The soul is gone. Spirit gone. Everything. You're dead. This is just a shell. It's, you're dead. So he asked, well, when somebody dies, boom, does it go straight to either heaven or hell or paradise or torment? What happens? So what he's saying is 7 ways that you're going to do something. Seven things are going to happen prior to you going to paradise or torment. 7 things. So 7 ways. Yeah. So like, okay, I'm dead. Do I just go straight to hell or do I go straight to paradise? So what happens? I'm no longer here. What happens now? All right. So it says the first way, and then it says what's going to happen to you depends on whether or not you kept the commandments. This is my understanding of reading this. Everyone's going to have their own understanding. That's why you need to read it for yourself. So don't just take what I'm saying and run with it like it's golden. Because remember, I myself am still learning. I'm going to be learning until my day of dying. So that's why I'm trying to learn now, so that I can have a better chance of being up there with the Most High. All right, and not in torment. So what happens then is, basically, did you follow the commandments? Like, were you living the way that he wants us to live, or did you go against everything that he taught, despite of you knowing better? Yeah. So, all right. The first way, because they have scorned the Torah of the Most High, because they scorned it. So he's talking about these are things that's happening because you didn't keep the commandments, or, you were just like, I'm going to live my life. I'm quite sure all of you have ran into somebody or know someone that's like, I'm going to live my life, or I don't believe in that. I don't believe in all that churchy stuff, that Jesus, whatever stuff. I don't believe in that. So what happens? Yeah. All right. So the first way, because they have scorned, or you yourself that's watching me may have thought that. So Angela says, where can I get one of those Bibles? Angela, if you go online, and they're hard to find. They are very hard to find. If you just go online and put in Sefer, you can find it. Or send me an email. You can send me an email and I can tell you where I ordered mine from, because we went on Amazon, they didn't have it, not the complete one. And then I just kept Googling and I came across a site that did have them. Now, I will tell you this, they're pricey. It's going to be about $100 to $150. Yes. But they're going to put a price on truth because they feel like people are not going to buy it because it's too expensive. I can get a Bible for free, but this is more than just the Bible. This is the Bible with everything in it that they took out. All right? Okay. So the first way, because they have scorned the Torah of the Most High, or El Elyon. The second way, because they cannot make a good repentance that they may live. So now at this point, you did not live your life the way the Most High wanted you to. You know, we have all these books that we read or have read or could have read, or you know right from wrong, but you decided to choose wrong instead of right. So now you're dead. And now you have these 7 things that's going to happen. Or 7 ways, 7 things that can happen that have to happen. And one thing that you cannot do, which you probably thinking, and when I say you, I'm speaking in general, is that I done lived my life the way I want to live it. And now, oh my goodness, there is actually a real, Father up in heaven. So, Father, I'm sorry. Or you might say, G-O-D, I'm sorry. Or J-E-S-U-S, I'm sorry. Please forgive me now. Now it's too late. Because he gives us now. He gives us now to live our lives the way that we're supposed to live it. So you cannot think that you can live your 50, 60, 40, 20, 15 years, because people dying every day and they dying younger and younger, or 100. You cannot possibly think that you can live your life the way that you wanted to live it, and now you're dead, and you can say to the Father, while I was down on earth, I lived my life the way I want to live it. Now I want to live for you. Now it's too late. Now it's too late. And that's basically what he's saying. You cannot now make a good repentance that you may live. What they say, you made your bed, now lie in it. You had all your life to either choose evil, which is the devil, or choose, goodness, which is the Most High. But unfortunately, a lot of people want to choose evil. A lot of people want to choose evil and think that they're still going to make it into paradise. Well, I'm here to tell you, it says in the word that you are not going to make it into paradise. Sorry, you're not going to make it into paradise. And you cannot think that at the last minute, oh, Father, I'm sorry, forgive me. You should have said, I'm sorry, forgive me when you repented, when you stopped doing the evil things because you were of the world. When you were doing all that evil, you needed to say one day, boom, you know what, Father, please forgive me for all of my sins. I don't want to live this way anymore. I don't want to. I know that I'm supposed to live for you and not of the world or of the people that are against you, because you're either for him or against him. You're either with him or you're not. There is no in between. There is no in between. You can say I love God all day long, or I got saved. Okay, so you got saved, but you're still doing the same. You're still sinning, so you got saved in vain. I used to think that, okay, well, you know what? I took him as my savior. I don't say Lord. I took him as my father and my savior. So if I sin, it's okay because he's going to forgive me. He already forgave me. No. I have to prove to him that, yes, I said these words out of my mouth, but now my actions have to show that I mean these words that I said out of my mouth in front of the church or in my bedroom when I was watching TV. Or you understand what I'm telling you guys? You not only have to say it, but you have to live your life as such. You have to change the ways of thinking. You have to change your ways of acting. You have to become a renewed person so that you are pleasing in his sight. Go ahead, Angela. You said, can I ask you a question? Yes. Go ahead. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
You want to come in here so you can because the way you break down stuff is maybe better than how I break down stuff. Or what you think?
Break it down.
No, when I have to break down something.
Oh, okay.
You want to get a camera or no?
No, I'm straight.
Okay. Angela's question must be long, y'all. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and share this video. You know, so many times people are sharing negativity, or, you know, no one wants to hear the truth. When it comes down to the Bible or the Torah or the Sefer, or the Sefer, or just someone talking about the Most High, someone talking about something that can, you know, help to get somebody into heaven, people don't like to share that. They want to share the negativity stuff. The world likes negativity. So you put up something, you put up a video and you're talking about all this negative stuff or gossip, or you're going to have hundreds of viewers on there. You're going to have hundreds of viewers on there, of you. So share this, because someone may need to, really, I'm not even going to say someone. We all need to know the truth. We really do. We all need to know the truth. So if you have Facebook, you have Instagram, any of that, and this is not about me getting a view, because the Most High, listen, everything that I need, I have. Everything I need that I have, and I get it from my Father. But there's people that need the truth. There's people that need the word. Okay. So Angela said, I used to be friends with a person that do illegal stuff. Now she's mad at me because I don't talk to her anymore. So Angela, that sounds more like a statement. That's just like me. If you guys have followed me, at one point in my life, I sold drugs. At one point in my life, I danced in the strip club. Do I still associate with a lot of the people that may still be in the strip clubs or in regular clubs? No. You have to, you know, you have to be set apart from your old life, because your old life can consume you. And a lot of people that are not ready to live their life for the Most High are going to, you know, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. They're going to tell you that you think you better than them, or, oh, you so churchy, or you so godly. You know, this is just me saying things I've heard. You know, you think you better than me now because of this, that, and the third. You know what? You're damn right. Y'all remember, I don't think damn is a curse. You are damn right. I do think I'm better than you. You want to know why? Because I, unlike you, have gotten an understanding. I've prayed and I've asked the Father, you know, take me from my wicked ways. Show me the truth. And unlike you, he showed me the truth. So yes, I am better, because you trying to straddle the fence. So yeah, I am better than you. And that's not being cocky. But that is, you know, you either want to live to go to heaven, or you either want to live to go to hell. So Sister Angela, if that means that a lot of people that you used to be friends with, because see, now what's going to happen is you're going to want to share your time with other people that are seeking the truth. You're going to want to share your time with people that are walking the way that the Most High wants us to walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
All right. So at first, I'll read something, because I see Kat actually, you put the 9th chapter.
6th chapter.
Yeah, but why'd you outline that? Okay. So Kat put up, she said, Angela, read Corinthians 6:17. And while I was just talking to you, my husband came in. This is the Hallelujah scriptures. So my husband came in and he told me to read something for you. It says, but brother against brother. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, right?
Yes.
6. Chapter 6, verse 6. But brother against brother goes to be judged, and that before unbelievers. Already then there is a failure with you, that you have lawsuits among you. Why not rather be wronged? Why not rather be cheated? That's what you want me to read?
With a highlight of that, keep reading.
Okay.
That'll go into it.
Okay, but you yourselves do wrong and cheat, and that to your brothers. Do you not know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the reign of Elohim? So basically, the unrighteous, the people that are not doing right, unless they change their lives, they're not going to heaven. So you don't worry about them. Do not be deceived. Neither those who whore, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor homosexuals, nor thieves, nor greedy of gain, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor revealers. Revealers?
Telling secrets,
Oh, okay. Okay. Nor people that tell secrets.
gossip, and all that.
They gossip and everything. Nor swindlers shall inherit the reign of Elohim. And such were some of you, but you were washed. But you were made Kodesh, holy. You were made holy. But you were declared right in the name of the Most High. And by the ruach of our Elohim. You were made, You were declared right in the name of the Messiah. I say the Messiah, or Yahusha. And by the ruach of our Elohim. So basically, Angela, when you decided that you wanted to live right, the Most High, you're with him. You're with him. You're not of the world anymore. So your friends that's going to get mad at you because you decided that you wanted to come out of the world, you want to be set apart from the evil and, anything that you may have done in your past, because that's your past. Once you became, holy, you're a whole different person now. So this whole new person can't hang with the old people. Why would I hang with a stripper and I don't strip anymore and I knew that that was not of the Most High? Why would I hang with someone that does not believe what I believe? Why would I hang with someone that wants to go to hell and I want to go to heaven? Why would I hang with someone that feels like evil is okay to do, but we all know that it's not?
2 Corinthians.
Okay, so 2 Corinthians, the 16th chapter says, and what union has the...
Mishkan.
Now, y'all going to see me stop because they say the real words in here, and they speak in Hebrew. That's the original language. So, and what union has the Mishkan?
Your temple.
Okay, and what union has the Mishkan of Elohim with idols? But Elohim, the Most High. For you are a Mishkan of the living Elohim, temple of the Elohim, of the living Elohim, as that's Yahusha, right? Yahuwah. Okay, that's right. His name is the 4 letters.
Yeah,
that's right. As the Father has said, I shall dwell in them and walk among them, and I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Therefore, come out from among them and be separate, says Yahuwah, the Father, and do not touch what is unclean, and I shall receive you. And I shall be a father to you, and you shall be sons and daughters to me, says Elohim El Shaddai.
Basically what it's saying is, if you don't come out and separate...
And y'all hear my husband in the background.
Basically said, if you don't separate yourself from what is unclean, I can't receive you. And it says him. He said, separate. Therefore, come out from among them and separate. Plain and simple, says Yahuwah.
Exactly. So, Sister Angela said she wanted me to do illegal stuff, and I told her no. For anyone that may be struggling, and that was excellent that you told her no, because we all have our struggles. I have my struggles. We all have our struggles. None of us are perfect. This is what I tell you guys. This is how, to me, I can keep my life moving forward to where, I live my best life that the Father loves. And like, okay, you can, my name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, and he's, he can come on in and he doesn't say, depart from me. I don't know you. All right. This is what I do personally. If I have a question or even a second thought about something that I should be doing, you remember how they used to have WWJD? Like, what would, JSUS do? If there's something that you have to second guess, the best thing is say to yourself, if I do this and the Most High came back right now, would I go to heaven or would I go to hell? Is this something that he would want me to do? Because he's always with us. But let's just say you could physically see him and he's standing right next to you and somebody says, I want you to do this. And you know your Father's standing right here. Would you do it? So if your answer is no, then you know that that's not right. and you go away from it. So, Sister Angela, I applaud you for it. It's not even me applauding you. The Most High loves you. He's happy with the decision that you made from basically knowing that you may have done things in the past, but now because you're living for him, not for the devil, you're living for your Father in heaven that you knew right from wrong. And that friend well, look, your ex-friend, keep her just as that, your ex-friend. So I'm going to go ahead and finish reading this. All right. So the first way, because they have scorned the Torah of Elyon. Can I just say the Father there? The Most High? Yeah, because I'm going to keep messing that up. The first way so I can, practice it. The first way, because they have scorned the Torah of the Father. The second way, because they cannot now make a good repentance that they may live. The third way, they shall see the reward laid up for those who have trusted the covenants of the Father. So keep in mind, because I know I stopped a couple of times. This is for the people. These are the 7 things that's going to happen before when you first got. And this is for the people that did not keep his commandments, that felt like they probably knew better than him, or they didn't believe in him. So these are the things that they're going to see. Not only can they not ask him for forgiveness now, he's going to show them the rewards of the people that actually believed in him, live the way that he tells us to live, follow the commandments, and so on. Yeah. The fourth way, they shall consider the torment laid up for themselves in the last days. So he's even going to show, or they're even going to have an idea of the torment. They're even going to have an idea of where they're going for eternity. The fifth way, they shall see how the habitations of the others are guarded by angels in profound quiet. So this is deep, y'all. This is deep. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to read it through. I'm not even going to say anything. So I want you to get your own understanding. I'm not going to keep stopping and saying da-da-da unless somebody asks. So, all right. Basically the question, well, what happens when you die? Now you're dead. Do you go to hell? Do you go straight to heaven? What happens? And you done took your last breath. Boom. The first way, and we're talking about the people, the 7 days, this is the 7 things that's going to happen to the people that did not follow him, that they did not give their all to him. Yeah. Not the ones that's going to be in paradise, but the ones, we'll say the ones that's going to go to hell. So this is the 7 things that happened. They took their last breath, and this is now what they're going through. All right. The first way, because they have scorned the Torah of the Most High. The second way, because they cannot now make a good repentance that they may live. The third way, they shall see the reward laid up for those who have trusted the covenants of the Most High. The fourth way, they shall consider the torment laid up for themselves in the last days. The fifth way, they shall see how the habitations of the others are guarded by angels in profound quiet. Peace, real peaceful. The sixth way, they shall see how some of them will pass over into torment. The seventh way, which is worse than all the ways that have been mentioned, because they shall utterly waste away in confusion and be consumed with shame and shall wither with fear at seeing the glory of the Most High, before whom they sinned while they were alive, and before whom they are to be judged in the last days. Excuse me. That's deep. So can you imagine doing whatever you want to do all your life, and now here it is, you died, and you're going to be reminded of everything that you did?
For all eternity.
Everything that you did that was wrong. Everything. And he's going to give you a vision of, had you lived your life right, this is where you could have been over here, guarded by these angels. Their life is peaceful, while you over here in torment, waiting to be in torment. Could y'all imagine that? Let me just say, I said I wasn't, let me just say this. Okay. Could you imagine? I'll put it in today's terms. Let's say you could see the future and you were going to die a tragic death, right? And there was nothing that you could possibly do. You couldn't change anything because your outcome was still going to be this. You're going to die like the most tragic death and be tortured and tormented. Like you're going to die the most tragic death. And every day you keep having this dream, but it's a vision of what's going to happen to you. It's a vision of what's going to happen to you. And there's nothing that you can do to change it. You can't say, all right, well, I'm going to die at the store, or I'm going to get raped and then they're going to shoot me, or they're going to pluck my fingers out, or just anything, and pluck my fingernails off and stab me every day. And just think of the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. And you know this, right? But there's nothing, my lips are dry, but there's nothing that you can do to change it. You know what day, you know when, you know why, and there's nothing that you could do to change, to turn back that hand of time. Nothing that you could do. This is what's going to happen to you because I said it's going to happen to you. I'm the Most High. This is what's going to happen to you because I said it's going to happen to you. And there's nothing you could do now. There's nothing you could do to change it. You could say, okay, I'm not going to go to that store, because when it's supposed to happen, the day that you decide that you're not going to go to the store, that may be where you're going to get killed, or that house, or be with that boyfriend, or be in that car. There's nothing that you could do. Let's say it's going to happen on 12th Street and you know it. So the day that you know it's going to happen, you say, you know what? I'm just going to stay in the house today. But so you try to stay in the house right when let's just happen at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And you say at 5:59, okay, it's going to happen on this street and I have to be outside. So I'm going to go to the left. But when you try to go to the left, it brings you right back to that street. And then now you just have to go through your doom. So I wanted to put that in your mind to tell you this. Right now, you have a choice in your life, where you are in your life right now, to either go through torment and see torment before it even happens, and there's nothing you could do about it, or change your life now and go to paradise and have angels protecting you, and it's so beautiful. And, you have these, you're dead, but you're not dead. Like the soul has left your body, spirit's gone. But it goes to a great place, and you don't have to worry about being in torment. So that's how you got to think about it. That's how you have to think about it. Right now, you have a choice. Once you die and you have not done the correct things, you don't have a choice. And the Most High ain't playing with us. He gonna show you before he even put your butt in down in hell. Before that hell is created, before he even puts you down there, he's gonna show you what's going to happen for the rest of your life and for eternity. That's a long time. And there's nothing that you could do to change it. But right now you can change it. And this is why they took this out. This is why this ain't in the Bible. Because the devil does not want you to know that. He wants you to think all you have to do is say, I accept the LOD and JSUS as my savior. And he died for me, which is of course he did die for us. But we are calling on the wrong names, guys. We're calling on the wrong names. We're getting saved by mouth, but not by body and not by thought. You understand?
And you're not getting baptized under a name.
Yeah. And like my husband said, we're also getting baptized under JESUS, but that's not his real name.
They ain't even calling on that.
That's not his real name. So we are basically, guys, and I will be doing you guys a disjustice if I'm going to come on here, because I'm not going to tell you how I what I used to say, because now I know better.
How you supposed to get baptized?
Now I know better.
Matthew 28.
In Matthew
28:19.
In Matthew 28:19, it says, therefore go and instruct all the nations, immersing them
They say baptized
in the name of the Father and the Bane
Son.
and of the Ruach HaKodesh. I always can say it's like a tongue twister. And the Ruach HaKodesh.
So basically, what it
Father,
is,
Son, and Holy Spirit, but it's the real name, guys.
Basically, you're supposed to get baptized in the name of the Father, the Ruach, the name of the Son, Yahusha, and the Ruach HaKodesh. But they don't do that. They say they don't baptize you in no name. They say I baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and dip you in the water. You ain't got baptized under no name. It just said I baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, what's the name? What is the name? No name was ever mentioned.
Yeah.
So you're not baptized. What you think you is baptized, but you're not, because you didn't get baptized under no name, the true name or even a fake name. They just dunk you in the water because it's a tradition that they do. It's not scripture. They don't follow the scripture. They do it. They did it up on a tradition, which is stated in Matthew 15:8. I bet you read it to him. Matthew 15.
Babe, and then I need to finish this.
Okay.
Because I already said what's going to happen to the evil people. I'm quite sure they want to know about the ones that's going to heaven.
Okay, read this right quick. I'm going to learn. Matthew 15:8 in there.
Okay, so in Matthew 15, verse 8,
This is what Yahushua
it says, this people draw near to me with their mouth and respect me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain do they worship me, teachings the commandments of men. Okay.
Lot taken.
So, I know this may sound foreign because it sounded foreign to me until I started reading for myself and studying for myself. And you have to ask him to give you discernment. You have to ask him for an understanding, because you can read all day long. But if the devil got your ears masked and your mind masked, and you're thinking that because this is what I'm used to, this is what I'm familiar with, you will never get a clear understanding. That's why you have to ask the Father, show me, or however you're going to say it. Show me what I'm supposed to know. If I'm not saying the right things, please tell me what are the right things. All right. So remember, we are in the Sefer, and we are in 4th Ezra. I will now read from 4th Ezra, verse 88.
Chapter 7. That's chapter 7.
This is chapter 7.
In the 7th chapter, they don't even know what chapter to go to. You read the verse, but they didn't know what chapter they go to.
Oh, okay. I'm in chapter 7, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Chapter.
Everything that I've been reading is 4th Ezra, chapter 7. I do apologize. Chapter 7, because maybe I didn't start from the beginning. So chapter 7, and then we go on. Oh, yeah, and I wrote that down. Yeah. So I probably told him that then, babe. I probably said it earlier because I have it written here. So maybe I did say it. I've been on it for a while. All right. So now I'm reading 88. Now, this is the order of those who have guarded the ways of the Most High, or it says El Elyon. So this is the order of those who have guarded the ways of the Most High. All right. When they shall be separated from their mortal body. So now this is the order of those who have guarded the ways of El Elyon, when they shall be separated from their mortal body. When you die, your soul's gone from this. During the time that they lived in it, they laboriously served the Most High and withstood danger every hour, that they might guard the Torah of the Torah giver perfectly. Explain that.
that they might guard the Torah. The Torah is the teachings, and the teaching is the law, which was given by Moses. So if you see right there, that's the Torah, the teachings, which is the law. So if you guard the law, you have to know what the Torah states.
And you said that's the first 5 books of the Bible?
First 5 books of the scriptures. So that's your Torah. The only thing you don't have to do is blood sacrifices. You don't have to sacrifice no more animals and all of that because Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice. So the Son came down and died for the world. So the blood sacrifices is gone. Everything else you got to keep up with. You got to keep the feast days. You got to keep the Torah. You got to keep the commandments. You cannot think that you can make it to the kingdom by breaking his laws. If you break the laws, you have no chance at the kingdom whatsoever. And so a lot of people say the law is done away with, but the law is not done away with because sin is breaking the law.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop for a second. Does anyone have any questions? You know, I don't want to just be reading and you're watching and then maybe you're not understanding something that I read or the way that I explained it or the way that my husband explained it. So if you have a question, now would be the time. I'll give it about a half. I'll give you time to type.
But let
And
them
then
know
I'll go ahead and
let them
finish.
know what sin is first. I don't know about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it, but I'm saying
Okay.
the Lord talks about sin that we cannot be indulged in. All right, so this is 1 John.
1 John.
1 John 4. 1 John 3rd chapter verse 4.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone doing sin also does lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. And you know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. So what you guys see my husband keeps handing me is the Hallelujah scriptures. So this has the Most High and His Son's real name. You know, this has Hebrew because a lot of stuff was translated. Okay, guys? A lot of stuff was translated.
Alliterated.
Transliterated. Yeah, transliterated. It doesn't mean it doesn't. Okay, my bad. Transliterated, which means that
it doesn't have a meaning. They make it up.
It doesn't have a meaning. So you see a word, a name, and because it was transliterated, it's not what that word would be in English. If it was right,
Yeah.
Like that. It's something that they you know, when you translate something, that's like, okay,
a car in a car.
Yeah. Or a toy in a toy, or
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Or you use a slang.
Or this is water, but it's water in it's
agua.
Water in yeah.
Translation in Spanish is
right.
agua.
So you have to think about this. If we're talking about, let's just say names. If we're talking about names, like my name is Adwoa, right? But it originated from Ghana. And my name means born on a Monday. Monday born. So you'll see if you look up ADWOA, you might see born on a Monday, Monday born of Monday. You know, and you can't change that.
It's a translation.
You can't say her name's Adwoa, it means born on Friday. No, the translation of my name is Monday born. So if you want to call me anything besides Adwoa, you can say, hey, Monday born. And that means Adwoa. That's a translation. Now, transliteration would be, what's up, Friday? Or what's up, Lisa? That ain't what my name means. So you get what I'm saying? So with all that being said, when we're talking about the Most High and His Son, they changed their names. And why would the devil not change his name? He says, call on me and you shall seek. No, seek me and I'll answer and you shall find. But if we're calling on a name that's not even his name, that's why only 1/3 of the world, guys, is going to make it to heaven. 1/3. 1/3. Because we have been brainwashed, guys. We've been, my mother said this, or my grandma, or, we go to church and these are the names that we know. But think about it. The devil is crafty. He's crafty, very crafty. So when you're talking about, years ago and centuries ago when people, first of all, people used to get murdered because they believed in the sun or they wanted to read about, they got murdered for even studying. So do y'all honestly think that when they wrote the book, they was going to write it, or when we finally got it, that it was going to be, everything was going to be correct in there? No, they had to find a way to keep us from seeking him, the true him. So that's why some of the Bible is and not taking, you can't take away anything from the Bible and you can't add to it. But what they have done is they've taken away everything, a lot of what we need to get to the Most High, because they knew that some of these books that they took out, we would start questioning the ones that they kept in, because it would be a major contradiction. Well, it says this, but why does it say that? Or if this means this, then why do we say this? So that's just, you just gotta just study. Because at the end of the day, none of us are gonna have all the answers, but we can always, talk to the Father, ask the Father for, open my eyes. Show me what you want me to know. Unteach me what I've learned all these years. Let me unlearn all of the things that I wasn't supposed to learn. Let me unlearn the traditions of man.
Yeah, go back to the beginning.
Yeah. And like my husband said, go back to the beginning. A lot of people say, "Oh, I like to just skip all over the Bible." Go back to Genesis and make it make sense to you. And if it doesn't make sense, then fast. Talk to the Father. Talk to him and have him give you a clarity of what you're reading. All right. So Ezra 4, chapter 7, 88, and then I'm going to just read it through. All right. So now this is the order of those who have guarded the ways of El Elyon, which is Most High, when they shall be separated from their mortal body. So if you're just joining in, this is Ezra asking the Father, so what happens when we die? Do we just die? Do we go boom? Yes, you have no, everything is gone. You have no breath. You take your last breath and your soul is gone. Your soul is gone. So do we just go straight to heaven? Do we go straight to hell? Is there an in between? What happens? Can somebody say, "Oh, please forgive me, I want to do right"? What happens? So I already read over what happens when you weren't living the way you should have been. Now we're gonna read. Wow. Okay. So what happens to the people that have been doing right and have followed your commandments and have, they called on your name and they've been doing everything as close as possible to what
righteous living.
Yeah, a righteous living. Okay. But I would say as close as possible to how he would want us, because we're not perfect. But you're trying to live your life the way he would want you to live it.
Righteous. And
knowing right from wrong, So now is the order. Okay, now is the order of those who have guarded the ways of the Most High when they shall be separated from their mortal body. During the time that they lived in it, they laboriously served the Most High and withstood danger every hour, and they might guard the Torah of the Torah given perfectly. Therefore, this is the teaching concerning them. First of all, they shall see with great joy the glory of him who receives them, for they shall have rest in 7 orders. The first order, because they have strive. It says striven, S-T-R-I-V-N. How you pronounce that? Striving? Striving, okay. Because they have striven with great effort to overcome the evil thought which was formed with them, that it might not lead them astray from life into death. Let me read that for y'all again. The first order, because they have striven with great effort to overcome the evil thought which was formed with them, that it might not lead them astray from life into death. So that's basically saying you knew right from wrong and you chose right. Yeah. You knew right from wrong and you chose right. The second order, because they see the perplexity in which the souls of the wicked wander and the punishment that awaits them. You know right from wrong and you know you don't want to go to hell. You prefer to be up there with the Father. You know you don't want to burn in hell for the rest of your life. So that's two things. They lived right. They knew they didn't want to go to hell, which made them again live right.
And when he said he showed them perspective, he showed them what the people that didn't make it. He showed them what allows and waits for them. So that's the second order.
Okay. So the second order, because they see the perplexity in which the souls of the wicked wander. So you're going to, the peaceful place, but he's showing you, listen, because you did right, this is not going to happen to you. Yep. This is not your destiny. This is not what you have to worry about. Hallelujah. And that's when you die. So people say, you wonder, and I always wonder, what happens when you die? You go to sleep? Or are you just in a sound sleep? So this is telling you what happens. So don't you think that if this was in your Bible that you read, or if the pastor or your apostle or your bishop told you this,
nobody commit suicide.
You would never want to do wrong, and you wouldn't take your own life, because you know that what's happening on this earth ain't nowhere close to where you're gonna go. Nowhere close to where you're gonna go. But you don't know it because it's been taken out and you have not saw it. Because if you know the Father, you would never take your life anyway. And if you know the Father the way you're supposed to know him, you just can't know him by name. You have to know him by everything that's in you. You have to have that personal relationship with our Father. So people that commit suicide, they say, oh, I was depressed, I was this. Depression is not of him. Depression is not of him. He will never put something in someone knowing that we're not supposed to take our own life to make you take your own life. That is not of him. So the third order, they see the witness which he who formed them bears concerning them, that while they were alive, they guarded the Torah which was given them in trust. Break that down.
You see the witness. So everybody have a witness that guides you. So pretty much you're gonna see pretty much the witness that went forth for you. You can get to see him. The one who witnessed before you.
And y'all know who he's talking about?
You'll get to see the witness.
For the people that don't know who you're talking about.
You'll get to see your witnesses.
Okay. And who are the witnesses again?
You got a lot of them. It's righteous. Everything that's right, they witness for you because you got good and evil. So if you're going to see the witness, read that again.
Okay, I'm going to read it again. The third order, they see the witness which he who formed them bears concerning them. So y'all know who formed us. The Most High formed us. So there's witnesses. So the world is huge. So this is how I look at it. The world is so big, and you probably have thought, like I know I've thought, if it's all of us here, how did he know who's doing right and wrong? Of course he knows everything, of course. But is somebody going to him saying, hey, Adwoa did this today, or Adwoa didn't do that today, or Lisa did this today, or Karen did this today, or Kat did this, so there's witnesses. Remember, there's a lot of angels around him, a lot. So the third order, they see the witnesses. So now you've lived right. You a second from getting to heaven. You're like, yes, I did it. So your witnesses are like, well done. So that's how I'm thinking, because I'm not there. So that's what I'm thinking yet. All right. So the third order, they see the witness which he who formed them bears concerning them. So they witness for you, right? On your behalf. That while they were alive, they guarded the Torah, which was given to them in trust. You follow the word, you follow the commandments. You not only said it, you lived it.
Tell them why they have to keep the Torah. I gotta highlight it.
Okay, and the reason why you have to keep the Torah, remember the Torah.
28:9.
Okay, so what I'm reading now is Proverbs 28:9.
It's in the King James too.
My husband said this is in the King James as well. So he who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer is an abomination.
So
I'm gonna read.
James might say he who turns his ear away from hearing the law or the teachings.
So I'm gonna read that again. He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, Even his prayer is an abomination. So remember, the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. The first 5. You got to read all that, and it tells us how to live, what we're supposed to do. So if you turn away from that, that means you praying to who? Like your prayers are going in vain. Like you're praying for nothing because your prayers are an abomination. He's not even listening to your prayers because you're not following his commandments. You're not following the law that he set for us. But you heard it and you might have read it and you like, listen, I can love who I want to love. I can do what I want to do. Even your prayers are an abomination. Now that's awful.
It's true.
So,
and the truth will set you free.
Yeah. So I'm talking about it's awful that somebody would not follow it and they saying prayers and they thinking that their prayers are being answered.
Because they talk that way. That's why you have to pray for them.
All right. So the 4th order. Okay. The 4th order, they understand the rest which they now enjoy, being gathered into their chambers and guarded by angels in profound quiet, and the glory which awaits them in the last days. The 5th order, they rejoice that they have now escaped what is corruptible and shall inherit what is to come. And besides, they see the straits and toil from which they have been delivered, and the spacious liberty which they are to receive and enjoy in immortality. Immortal. So you got this, you're immortal and you're going to live peacefully in it.
In paradise.
And
going to show you all the stuff that you escaped while you was on earth. When it says he showed you the stuff that you escaped.
Excuse me.
Like, you passed that test and you passed that test. You're like, oh, you weren't thinking you were doing it. But when you live righteous, you do stuff that pleases him. So you're not trying to please man. If you're trying to please man, then it says, you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy of mine. So you have to make sure that you can please him. So he's going to show you, this is all the stuff that you escaped.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the dead is fully aware of what's going on, just not on earth anymore.
So say that again, babe, because people just think that
the dead is fully aware of what's going on, just not what goes on in earth. So your grandma, your mom, your dad, your sister, ain't nobody thinking about you. They so happy to be made it to paradise that they rejoicing. But the ones that died, your family member that's died, and they being tormented, they gonna be thinking that nobody should come here. They gonna be thinking of, well, they already know. They already being judged. So they gonna be thinking like, oh man, because they can't pray for nobody anymore. Mm-hmm. So their prayers would not be answered anymore because they didn't repent while they was living. So they can pray for the whole world that nobody come there. He don't hear them. You can't do nothing about it.
Okay. Loved ones who have passed on does not know anything about us that goes on currently.
Nope, not at all.
All right. So the 6th order, when it is shown to them how their face is to shine like the sun and how they are to be made like the light of the stars, being incorruptible from then on. The 7th order, which is greater than all that have been mentioned, because they shall rejoice with boldness and shall be confident without confusion and shall be glad without fear, for they hasten to behold the face of him whom they served in life and from whom they are to receive their reward when glorified. This is the order of the souls of the righteous, as henceforth is announced, and the aforesaid are the ways of torment which those who would not give heed shall suffer hereafter. I answered and I said, will time therefore be given to the souls after they have been separated from the bodies to see what you have described to me? He said to me, they shall have freedom for 7 days, so that during these 7 days they may see the things of which you have been told, and afterwards they shall be gathered in their habitations. I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, show further to me your servant, whether on a day of judgment the righteous will be able to, if I have found favor in your sight, show further to me, your servant, whether on a day of judgment the righteous will be able to intercede for the wicked, or to pray to the Most High for them. Fathers for sons, or sons for parents, brothers for brothers, relatives for their kinsmen, or friends for those who are most dear. So basically, he's saying, after all of that, can I pray for them? If I know that they have lived an evil life, can I pray for them? Can I intercede on their behalf to get them maybe to the right place? He answered me and said, since you have found favor in my sight, I will show you this also. The day of judgment is decisive and displays to all the seal of truth. Just as now a father does not send his son, or a son his father, or a master his servant, or a friend his dearest friend, to be ill or sleep or eat or be healed in his place. So no one shall ever pray for another on that day. Neither shall anyone lay a burden on another, for then everyone shall bear his own righteousness and unrighteousness. Excuse me. Wow.
You can't pray for nobody. When you leave here,
so there's nothing where people say, "Oh, I know my mother's looking over me, and she's my guardian angel." No.
Read Ecclesiastes 9th chapter and the 6th verse.
And that's what was taken out, guys. If y'all don't do nothing else, if you can get your hands on one of these, if you don't want to spend the $100-something for this, they do have a mobile. Remember, because I was able to download it.
Mobile app, $22.
They do have a mobile app that you can download for like $22. But you can always lose your phone. I'm just saying your phone might not want to work. Y'all know how that goes. So this is worth it. If you could spend $150 on some shoes, on eating out, on anything else, spend the money on something that can get you to where I hope you want to be. And that's with the Father. So this is how it's spelled, CEPHER. When you look for it, you're going to see some that say the third, the second. You just want Sefer. You don't want one that doesn't have all the books. You spend $50 and it's like, well, where's the rest of the books? You want the complete. So this is Ecclesiastes. Look at me. Can I look? Can I start pronouncing some stuff? Ecclesiastes, verse 9. Chapter 9, verse 6. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not, nor do they have any more reward, for their remembrance is forgotten. Also, their love and their hatred and their envy have now perished, and they no longer have a share in all that is done under the sun.
Under the sun means earth.
So they don't know anything, nor can they pray for you, or watch over you, or guide you, or anything.
And no one that ever leaves here comes back and visit you and talk to you. It's impossible.
Say that again, because I done seen people in my dreams.
A lot of people says, "Oh, they came back and talked to me." Yeah, you can have dreams. Anybody can have dreams. I done had dreams that I done talked to movie stars and all of that. But the thing about it is, when the dead leaves you, they cannot come back in physical and sit here and talk. Now, people have seen what they call familiar spirits, or they try to do necromancy.
But what is a familiar spirit?
A familiar spirit the familiar spirit is an evil spirit. All it is something. If you want to see somebody so bad, you can make yourself see it. But now you are talking to a demon, and that demon will lead you into doing anything that they want you to do because you give place to the devil. The dead, when they leave, they are gone.
Melissa said, "Oh my," and yes, I had a dream of my mother.
But they cannot come back and tell you, "Oh, I'm at peace now." You don't know that. oh well, I'm good. No, you don't know that because you don't know how they walk their life. You don't know what type. You don't know if they follow the commandments. You don't know if they kept the commandments. You don't know if they had a personal relationship with the Most High. For all you know, they could have been practicing witchcraft and putting spells on people.
Okay.
And believe in
So-
what you call it, superstition. Anything like that is witchcraft. Superstition. Oh, a black cat crossed the road. I gotta put an X in my window. Now you're serving the devil. You put an X on your window. Oh, I can't. A mirror got cracked. I got 7 years of bad luck. Okay, that's witchcraft. Now you bow down to the devil.
Or they doing the sage stuff.
Or you burning sage in your house.
And doing this.
Oh.
I'm warding out the spirits in this.
No, you know what gets spirits out of your house?
Pray.
A righteous life.
That's
Living
right. And pray to the Most
Keeping
High.
the Most High in your house. The devil can't come. What good is that? Evil and good can't coexist. That's why a lot of y'all might be in relationships / marriages. Oh, he put this relationship together. No, he didn't. You put it together. So you're trying to figure out why your marriage ain't working or why your relationship ain't working. It ain't supposed to work because two people can't walk together not unless they agree. And that is in the book of Amos 3. Read that. Two people have to agree. You can't have two different beliefs in one household. It'll never work. A house divided will always fall. If my wife like it ice cold in the bedroom, I like it hot in the bedroom. We're gonna be sleeping in two different rooms because somebody got to bow down to the other. So you have to make sure when you walking in this life that your friend's life, whether it's a homegirl or homeboy or a mate or anything, if you don't agree, you cannot walk together. You can't be righteous and yet all your friends unrighteous. Oh well, they're just my friends. No, you're supposed to separate from them because the same way as you see kittens and you see baby kittens and you see baby lions. They can't hang out. Yeah, they both felines, but one is gonna eat the other. A shark is a fish and a flounder is a fish, but they don't swim together because one is gonna eat the other. You cannot be on the same sheet of music when you disagree. So if the Father chose you to be set apart, the word holy means the word holy in the original form is kodesh, which means set apart. So if the Most High set you apart from the world, why are you trying to fit in? And he set you apart. So if he set you apart, he set you apart for him. He didn't set you apart for the devil. He set you apart for him. So if he worked so hard to set you apart, don't work so hard to try to fit in.
All right, let me ask you this. So, for someone that may be having a hard understanding of, you cannot tell me that when my best friend passed or my husband passed and he came back, that wasn't him. What could they read to get that understanding of the way that you broke it down?
The best thing what you can do to figure out is you got to read the book of Genesis. Go and read Genesis. Okay. Then on top of reading Genesis, you can read, and it's going to be Genesis, I think it's in the 6th chapter about the Nephilims. The Nephilims are the souls of those bodies that didn't come from the Father. Because what happened was when the giants had sex with women, they created, when the angels, the 200 fallen angels that's mentioned in the book of Enoch came down and had sex with women, they had babies called the Nephilims.
I have no idea what the book of Enoch is. That's why y'all need to, we have the book of Enoch, but that's why y'all have to get this. Because think about, it'll say the fallen angels, right? It'll say the fallen angels. You hear something, you'll read it. Or somebody might say, you're welcome, Sister Melissa. Or somebody might say, the fallen angels. But because so many books were taken out of the Bible, it leaves a bit of confusion because it's like, well, who are the fallen angels? Because they took the books out that really explain. You don't feel like that?
Yeah.
They took the books out that really explain who the fallen angels were. Fallen angels were 200 angels, including, Satan. But we have other names to call them. But including the devil, that came down. They were angels now. They're immortal. They're angels in heaven. came down because they saw that women were so beautiful. Women were so beautiful, and they made a pact. I'm just going to say the quick way. They made a pact with each other that they were going to come down to earth and take these women as their own, as their wives. Now keep in mind, we're already talking about these are women that are married. It says, women married. So they took these women and they started having sex with these women and started showing these women all of these things. So that's where like spells and chants and all, showed them how to put on makeup. They showed them all the things that if the Most High wanted us to know all of this, we would have known it. So they showed them things that we were not supposed to know. Taught them how to read, write, a bunch of stuff. It was a bunch. So they did all of this stuff, right? So then what happens? They got these women pregnant because they're angels sleeping with.
And tell them it's Genesis, the 6th chapter, starting in verse 1.
Okay. If you go to Genesis, the 6th chapter, and read verse 1 and continue to read, then this is what I'm touching on, but more in depth because I have read the book of Enoch. Enoch is spelled Enoch. Enoch, right? Enoch.
Yeah.
Okay. So they basically had sex with the women, and the women had children. But keep in mind, life and death is of the Father. Okay? Not of an angel that came down and decided, I'm gonna have sex with one of his creations, and now we're having, I'm having children. So the children that they had, those children were not made from the, from the earth, from the dust they made, from the dust they will return. They were not made from the Most High. They were made from sin, from these angels that came down that was not supposed to do that. So now the women started having giants. Their babies were giants. So what happens with a giant? The giants started eating mankind. Like the giants did all this stuff. They started having sex with reptiles. And so that's why you have these other animals that's so big and crazy. So when they are to die, right? But when they're not supposed to be here anymore, where are they going?
When they souls wander into the
so once they died and their soul couldn't go to heaven because he didn't create them. So that's where you have demons. So they're pretty much, and evil spirits. So they're pretty much just wandering the earth until it's time for them to go where they have to go. So that's where all of that, when you're talking about seances and all of that stuff, so they call them Nephilims. Nephilims, right?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so in Genesis, I'll read Genesis and I'll go to 1. So it says, Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. And it says, and it came to be when men began to increase on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them. That the sons of Elohim,
The angels,
the Most High, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men. So that's the angels. But if you read the book of Enoch, it explains it. See, it can get confusing because you're thinking sons of, if listen, the books were written for a reason. The books were written for a reason, and they took them out. They took them out. That's like if I'm telling you a story, and I start out in chapter 1, and then I go from chapter 1, and I take out all the other chapters, and now you read 17. You can't get a clear understanding because I left out a whole story. Well, that's what they did in the Bible. That's what they did when they took out all the other books. Okay, so I'll go back to read it out, not interrupt this time. And it came to be when men began to increase on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elohim, Most High, saw the daughters of men that they were good, and they took wives for themselves, and of all whom they chose. And the Father said, my Ruach shall not strive with mankind forever in his going astray. He is flesh, and his days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of Elohim came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, they were the mighty men who were of old, the men of name.
You keep reading, there's one, but it shows you who they were, the Nephilims.
And the Father saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And Yahuwah the Father was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. And the Most High said, I am going to wipe off man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping creatures and birds of the Shamayim, heaven, of the Shamayim, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Most High. Y'all got to read this, because see, this is, listen, I read that. Hold on, babe. I read that. But just now, because I asked for that understanding, just now, it makes sense why Noah's Ark was made. Like, it's always made sense. But what was so bad that happened on earth that he wiped out the whole world? See, this is cause and effect. Those angels came down, slept with the women, had babies. The babies were giants. And it was so much evil that was going on, and the Most High was so mad. He's like, I shouldn't have even created man. So he wiped it out. And how did he wipe it out? With the flood. And that's when Noah found favor. So y'all just have to go back and read it, because trust, when you study, and this is all a form of studying, like I said, with me reading it just then, I had never put the 2 and 2 together. I was just like, man, what's going on with that? What was going on that was so bad? That he was just like, and there was a lot going on back then. But what made him say, listen, I'm wiping it out. We're going to start all fresh. Yeah. So hallelujah. Thank you. All praise is due to the Most High, because that was an understanding that I had never had until just now with me reading it. That's why we have to read and study, y'all. Because we can read words all day long. But if we don't ask for a better understanding, a better interpretation of what we're reading, we're lost. We're lost. So if y'all didn't want to do nothing else today, if you can afford it, if you can't afford the 100-something to get this book, download it, or even go online and, put it in. And maybe you can even read some of the chapters, but go back and read Genesis and ask him for wisdom and understanding. If you have never read it before, and I'm quite sure y'all read it, but this time, ask the Father for wisdom and understanding. Ask him to show you, to show you what's hidden that he only has in here for his children.
I got to show you about wisdom and understanding. Tell them about Proverbs, the 9th chapter.
My husband said Proverbs, the 9th chapter.
10th verse.
The 10th verse. Proverbs, 9th chapter, 10th verse.
Show you how you gain wisdom and understanding. I didn't highlight it, but you said the 10th verse.
What's your highlighter?
You want to read something about King James?
Yeah, I'll read out the King James.
This is the only reason I keep it, because a lot of people I run into don't have access to.
So I'm going to show you guys something. So I read out the Sefer. Now, my husband, the book that he kept giving me, the Hallelujah Scriptures, Hebrew. And now I'm reading out of all praises due to the Most High, Sister Angela. Without our love for him, this is not possible.
That's King James.
Because she said, thank you, with throw in brag.
All praise the Most High. Hallelujah, sister.
Okay, so this is the King James Version. So again, in our home, for someone that may be like, what are they talking about? We have all the Bibles. We even have the first Bible, 1611. We even have that Bible.
Yeah, the King James.
We even have that one. So
and that King James
if you start 80.
The 1611 King James have 80
So if you
books,
start comparing, when you're talking about studying, if you start comparing,
you find the mysteries.
You'll see everything that you need to see, and you'll notice that it's similar but different. Similar but different. So say you look at 4 different things and you're like, well, I just don't know which one is the truth. If you start getting confused, then that's when you pray and you ask him for wisdom and understanding, that you can go ahead and know what you're reading and know the truth. Because that's all it comes down to. You need to know the truth, because the United States, the truth will set you free. Well, the truth is either going to, if you don't know the truth, then that's going to be your cue of either going to heaven or hell. I'm just keeping it 100. All right. So now I'm in Proverbs, 9th chapter, 10th verse. The fear of, and I'm just going to read it just how it says in here. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Now, because that's not his name, and that's a title, I'm gonna go back and read it how I would have read it. The fear of, I would even say the Most High, the fear of Elohim is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
So there's your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You'll never gain knowledge or understanding if you don't seek wisdom. And wisdom is to fear him. So if you fear him, then that'll gain you wisdom. So like with read the King James on 8th chapter 32 through 36.
Of what?
Right there.
Of
Yeah.
this? Okay.
8th chapter. Start at verse 32.
Okay. Now therefore hearken unto me. Hearken. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed, or they say blessed, like blessed. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For who findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of, it says Lord, but the Most High. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
It says if you listen to discipline, you become wise. So in order to gain favor from the Father, your creator. See, the Father created you, the Son saved you, and the Ruach HaKodesh, which they call the Holy Spirit, guides you. So if you can't listen to your creator, then there's no reason for you to try to make it home to the creator. Yeah. If you can't do what he tell you to do on earth, do not expect that you're going to go to the kingdom and take over. The devil tried that, and you can check that out in Ezekiel 28 chapter, starting at the 14th verse. The devil tried that. He don't want nobody to come up there and take over. He don't want nobody up there that's hard-headed. He don't want nobody up there questioning him. So many times on earth, when the Father says something, people like, well, I don't know. I can't give up my seafood. Well, this is just the way I express myself.
Yeah, I hear
somebody say my mouth might be nasty, but
day.
this is how I express myself.
Or they say, I hear this every day, because, I have family that still eat the foods that are abomination to the Most High, to our Father. So they'll say to me,
Deuteronomy 14 and Leviticus 11.
You can pull it up. They'll say to me, well, I just asked them to forgive me. I'll pray on that later. So you think that you can do whatever sin, you can not abide by his commandment, no matter how big or small it is, because a sin is sin. And he gave us a law for a reason. So you think that you can say, I'll follow this commandment, but I won't follow this one. I'll follow this commandment, but I won't follow this one. I'll follow this commandment, but I won't follow this one. And you think you're going to make it to the kingdom of heaven? It's impossible. No.
This Deuteronomy 14.
And I'm like, if you can't even do something as simple, if you can't even do something as simple as stop eating something, what else in your life are you struggling with? There's right and there's wrong. That's it. Listen, I used to love crab legs. I'm talking about, y'all probably seen me post pictures of me busting back crab legs. But they're an abomination, and we're not supposed to eat them. And it says it, do not eat.
Deuteronomy.
Okay, so now I'm in Deuteronomy 14 verse 8. Chapter 14, verse 8. And it says, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, what's it, curd? And cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. And y'all know what the swine is. The swine is pork. Or some people say swine. I can't live without my swine. Well then listen. When you go to hell for wanting to eat a pork chop and eating your bacon, yeah, and you burning because you cannot stop eating pork. What you gonna say then? Yeah. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. So this tells you what you can eat in the waters now. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you. It is unclean unto you. I'm going to read that again. These and guys, this is King James Version. So I'm quite sure all of y'all have a King James Version. You probably just skimming around, reading whatever you want to read. Okay. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. And y'all be eating pig feeds and everything else.
Bacon, pepperoni.
Yeah. It is unclean to you. Wait, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. So not only are you not supposed to eat pork, you're not supposed to touch it. You're not supposed to touch it. But you eating it like this. So not only are you not supposed to eat it, you're not supposed to even cook it. You're not supposed to touch it. You're not supposed to do none of that. Okay? So then it says, these ye shall eat. So now he's telling you, because think about it, y'all. He created us, right? He created us. His image, he created us. So don't you think he's going to give laws to the people that he created? These are his laws. The same way we break down laws to our kids, we don't want them to smoke, we don't want them to drink, we don't want them to do certain things. He gave us laws. So if you want your kids, it's okay for you to want your kids to follow your laws in your house and your rules and regulations, but you can't even follow the laws of the person that created you. Again, these ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat, and whatsoever have not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you. It is unclean unto you.
No shellfish have fins or scales.
So when you're looking at lobster, when you're looking at clams, when you're looking at all of that, that does not have scales or fins.
Catfish.
Think about it, y'all. Do we eat our dogs? We have them as a pet. Do we eat our cats? I mean, some people do. Do we eat the birds that are flying around up in the air? Are you going to eat this phone or this?
Some birds, not all.
Yeah, but not all of them. Are you going to eat what else is out there? Reptiles.
Talking about
So do you understand what I'm saying? It's just, listen. It's knowledge, and there's a reason why he said do some things and not others. And for people that knowingly do these things, because if you come on my channel, I'm gonna tell you, so now you know. Because when my husband told me, I was like, why you had to show me? Because if you don't know, you don't know. But when you do know, because now if you've been watching me, hey, now you know. And if you still eat it, you sinning. Because now you know. Sorry.
And this is Leviticus 11. And
then Leviticus 11. And then see, when my husband brought it to me, everything that I was reading, I kept seeing it. I was like, why have I never seen this? I was like, he's really telling me, listen, okay, I opened your eyes to it. Now I'm really going to go deep so you can know. So that you can't be like.
11, starting at verse 7. Because
I'm going to be honest with y'all. After I knew, it's one time that I still ate, I still ate crab legs, and y'all do not understand how hard I was praying because I knew I was doing wrong. And I never ate. Remember when I was in Charleston? Yeah. That time. I mean, we was in Savannah. Not Savannah. Hilton Head. And I never ate it again. I don't even have a taste for it. So Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So it's not only in one place in the Bible, it's in there 2 times. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. And remember, guys, I'm still in the King James Version. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall we eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. And my computer's going dead. So yeah. Yep. So before I have like 10 battery charge or whatever, I have like 10%. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and type your questions now, because I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
I think he has to say too, man. Isaiah 55 chapter.
And so you'll notice that with these and I don't like to call them teaching, because I don't consider myself a teacher. I like to share what I've been studying. So with this sharing of the studies, that's what I'll call it, because I don't consider myself a teacher. I'm not a prophet or anything. So I just ask the Most High to work, through me, so that if I come on here and I am sharing something with you guys, that I'm sharing the correct things, because I definitely don't want to share something that can damn us all to hell. So I definitely have to make sure that I'm sharing something that's factual in his word.
Read that one more time. That's Isaiah. What's the book? Isaiah?
Okay, so Isaiah 66, verse 17, right? It's not 66? Yeah, it's up here.
Okay.
They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Father. But it says Lord in here, Lord. For I know their works and their thoughts it shall come, and I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory.
Yeah,
so he knows everything. So you be trying to hide and eat it, or whatever you want to do. He sees everything.
Hide and trying to eat swine again. So he's still talking about eating pigs.
So if nothing else, you're supposed to eat no pig. Yeah. So as I was saying, the reason why you'll notice that we're in different books, because when you study, you need to, first of all, when you study, you can't just study out of one book. That's just like me with doing hair. When I'm doing my research, I don't just go on Google and the first thing I see, I'm like, oh, this is this. No, you have to research. You gotta, you don't know who wrote it. Think about it. People change things. The way that I explain something, someone else is not going to explain it the same way. So you have to research. You have to study. So when you're talking about you only have that one book, you can only go by that one book. So you can never say that this isn't the truth or this isn't the truth, because you haven't even taken the time to compare. You haven't even taken the time to compare what's in it. So once you start doing your comparison, then you raise over that, then that question mark comes over your head. Well, wait a minute. Well, why is this? And as far as Enoch, guys, thank you, Sister Vielka. All praise is due to the Most High. Thank you. She sent me $19.99. Thank you, sister.
Tell her this why they got to study Hosea 4 and 6.
All right, and Hosea 4 and 6.
This is why you got to study.
It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of, it says thy God, but the law of the Most High. I will also forget thy children.
So not only,
let me read that again.
So not only will you
my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee. that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy father, I will also forget thy children.
So you putting a burden on your children as well. You making it hard for them.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you're gonna teach them the same way that you
Yeah,
taught.
yeah, you're gonna teach them what's not right.
What's
So
not right.
another reason why, as I was saying, another reason why you'll hear him say, show me the King James Version, is because that's what y'all used to. So you can't say, well, you read it out of the Sefer or you read it out of the Hallelujah scriptures. Listen, I'm reading out of what I felt like you guys had, because we all had the KJV.
King James pretty much says the same thing that this says, but it just
And
changes
then
the names.
the Hallelujah
It
scriptures,
just changes the names.
it's the same thing as the King James, except the names are the real names. So it's Hebrew. So you're going to see the Hebrew name. And it's not the transliterated name. It's the real name.
And
then the Sefer, listen, the Sefer is just the big boy. That's what got everything in it that they took out that they did not want us to know.
But tell them it do say even in the King James, it never says he was hung on a cross. It
Right.
says tree.
And this is a whole nother studying, guys, because we already been on here 2 hours and I'm at 7%. In the King James Version, for those of you that did not know, and it's in all the versions, it says that the Most High, that the Son, having being strung from a tree, it never says that he was hung on a cross. It says even, and do your research, that could be homework for y'all. Do your research. It literally says, and my husband about to tell you which chapter it says it in, that he was hung from a tree. So that cross is something totally different. And this is not us making up something. This is actually in the KJV, in the King James Version. Where's it say it, babe?
Look in Acts, the 5th chapter.
If you go to Acts, the 5th chapter, pull up real fast so I can read it, because I'm on 6%. I mean, I can move this. Oh. What must hurt from work from walking? All right, and then I'm going to end it there and just let you guys do your own, studying. So Acts the 5th chapter. Which one is it?
Acts the 5th chapter.
What's the verse?
It's the 29th verse.
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start at 20. At 28, saying, and this is Acts.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is the King James Version, so you can look it up for yourself. Because trust me, if you're wearing a cross, you won't be wearing them anymore. Yeah, thinking that that's, All right. Okay. Saying, did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and indeed to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. The Elohim of our fathers raised up Yahusha, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. So I'm going to read it now the way y'all will read it straight out the book. Saying, did we not straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and indeed to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, who ye slew and hanged on a tree.
And it's in Acts, the 10th chapter, 39th
and it's
verse.
also in Acts, the 10th chapter, the 39th verse. So it says here, and we are witnesses of all things which he did, both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. So I'm going to leave it at that, my sisters and my brothers. I love you all, but just,
And tell them again, you ain't got to read it.
They can hear you, babe.
But it's also in Acts, the 13th chapter and 29th verse, and it's in Galatians, 3rd chapter, 13th verse, and 1 Peter, 2nd chapter, and 24th verse. All says tree. They don't say cross. The cross is something implemented by the Roman Emperor Constantine. The Catholic Church implemented the cross to get people to throw people away from the truth.
So with that being said, and that's a great way to end this. So with that being said, and it goes back to what I said at the beginning, do y'all honestly believe that the 100% truth, everything that we need is is there. They took a lot of stuff out and they changed a lot of stuff. So you have to study. You got to cross-reference and so on. So I love you all. I thank you for spending this time with me. That was my second time going over it because my husband was reading it earlier, and I said, you know what? That's something I have to share with my brothers and my sisters because I was like, wow. So thank you. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. If I did, research, pray.
Tell them why they must love.
Baby, you can say it.
Here's a good reason.
And hurry up because I'm only on 3%.
For everybody to love each other. If you hate anybody on this planet, the Father created everybody. So if you hate anybody that the Father created, you hate his handiwork, which means you hate him. Now, you can hate someone's ways or you can hate their actions, but the individual itself, if you hate somebody and the sun go down and you hating that individual when the sun go down, it's a possibility if you don't make it and wake up the next day that you have no access to the
Sister
kingdom.
Melissa. Say it again.
So you have no access to the kingdom if you walk around with hate, because the Father is not the author of confusion. The devil is. And confusion is hatred, pride. Matter of fact, pride is in Proverbs, the 6th chapter and 16th verse. Pride is an abomination. So you can't say, well, I know, but, well, I just feel a certain type of way or I'm funny like that. Pride is an abomination. Love conquers all. The 2 greatest commandments, you should love the Creator and put nobody before him.
Right, like
and love thy
said,
neighbor and thy brother thyself. Those are the 2 greatest
like
commandments.
Sister Cat just said, hate their ways and not them.
Yeah, you can't
Exactly.
hate. You can't hate a person because
Proverbs 6:16.
you didn't create a person to hate.
That's right.
You didn't create a person to hate. You might not like their ways, but you can't hate them. So that's why I tell everybody, even strangers that I meet, I'll see them for 5 minutes. I walk out and say, okay, I'll talk to you later. All right, man, I love you. And they look at me crazy, but I'm going to make it into the kingdom.
Amen.
I'm going to make it to the kingdom. So that's why I tell everyone, hey, I love you. And most guys, when you tell them you love them, they think you're homo. They're, oh, hey, I love you. And that's it. But we have to always demonstrate love no matter what. Without love, you have nothing. You have nothing. You can go and you'll never be about anything.
All right, y'all. So love you all, my brothers and my sisters. Make sure that you keep the Most High first in everything that you do, because like us, we all have to start somewhere. And there's a reason why you watch this video. We've been on here for 2 hours, a little more than 2 hours. So especially the people that have been on here from the time that we started. All right. So I just hope that if someone had some questions, that I was able to at least help you with maybe some of the questions that you may have had, or maybe even just open up your mind to want to get to know our Father better, or want to just, research or even talk to him more so that you can get a better understanding. So again, love you all. This has been great. And I will talk to you guys later. And if you haven't realized, listen, your girl is in Miami. Your girl is in Miami. Huh?
Tell them the 4 commandments is to keep the Sabbath day. So that's what they actually keeping the 4th commandment today.
Okay, so my husband said the 4th commandment is to keep the Sabbath day. And because you guys are on here, that's part of what you did today. Yeah. So, yeah.
Exodus 20 chapter 4 verse.
He said Exodus 20 chapter 4 verse. See, he can quote scriptures and all that. I just try to keep the words,
Oh, wait, down. Exodus 28.
So, you said 28?
20 and 8. Yeah.
Exodus 28.
Yeah. 20th chapter, and it's the 8th commandment. See right here? Show it to him. I'll show it to him.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Exodus 20th chapter, 8th verse, which is the 4th commandment. So it's actually a commandment.
Thank you, Sister Angela. I will. I go back to the dentist on Wednesday. So still here to make sure everything goes smoothly, so I don't have to keep coming back and forth. Yeah. Just had some adjustments done, so had emergency visit to have to come back to the dentist. So yeah. So we are definitely staying safe. Love you all, and I will talk to you guys soon, most high willing. But please make sure that you just have yourself right, so that if you close your eyes and it's the last time that you close them and then you open them, that when you open them, you want to be in the right place. We did a lot of studying today. So you want to be in a place of paradise. Thank you, sister. You want to be in a place of paradise and not in torment. So take care, guys. And shalom.